So today, I believe I have a little bit of an exclusive. This is a Zodiac that is very limited to 282 pieces. It's available at only one retailer here in the United States, that is Huckberry, and I have not seen many videos or any videos on this watch yet here on YouTube. It is the Zodiac Seawolf left-hand drive GMT Pro Diver. So it's 300 meters of water resistance, a GMT in all black DLC. So it's somewhat of a tactical watch as well, but it's very, very wearable. So let's flip the camera and take a look at the limited edition Super Seawolf Pro Diver GMT from Zodiac. A left-hand drive GMT on the channel today, and it is not a Rolex, it is a Zodiac. This is the Zodiac Super Seawolf left-hand drive Pro Diver GMT. It's a watch that's actually exclusive to Huckberry here in the United States. So if you are interested in this watch, I will put a link to it down in the description below. That link will be to Huckberry. They've actually lent me this watch here for review. I'm very excited to show it to you guys. So the name, the very long name of Super Seawolf left-hand drive Pro Diver GMT gives you an idea of what this actually is. Left-hand drive refers to the fact that this has a crown at the 9 o'clock position. This crown right here is a helium escape valve that's at the 2 o'clock. This is a Pro Diver, 300 meters of water resistance, so it's around 14 millimeters thick. You do get a dive bezel on here, which I believe is a mineral crystal. You also have a 24-hour scale on that chapter ring. That's because this is a GMT powered by a SOPROD movement, the C125. That's a movement that's not often used. However, it's a very reliable movement, and I've owned it in many watches, and I really do love it. I think it's a great movement. It's a great alternative to ETA and Sellita, and like I've said in the past, it's actually based on a Seiko movement, and it was bought by the Swiss, by SOPROD. I believe that was the time only, the C100, and then they've developed that movement further into GMTs and other movements as well. So this is a very reliable, really well designed movement. This is a really well thought out watch as well. You have very large indices on here. Those are applied and filled with lume, and then you have very large hands that are also filled with lume. The second hand has a very big arrow on the end, sort of a triangle, and that is also filled with lume. You have a GMT hand that is in orange and stands out pretty well against that black background, and then all of the markings in the bezel, those are lume. So you do have a fully lumed bezel. Like I said, I believe that is a mineral crystal. It is a dive bezel, so that's the dive portion of this watch. It's around 42 millimeters at the bezel, so it's like 42 millimeters, 42.1 millimeters, and the case itself is just under 40 millimeters, and this crown right here is around 7 millimeters. This crown right here is around 6.5 millimeters. Let's listen to the bezel action really quickly. It's 120 click bezel. Everything lines up perfectly. The chapter ring, that 12 o'clock index, and of course that orange triangle with the pip in it at the 12 o'clock on that bezel. Everything lines up really, really well. Sounds very good and very, very crisp action to the bezel. Excellent action here. One of the things that I love about this watch is the strap integration into the case. So this is a DLC case. It's a Super Seawolf case. It's the Pro Diver. So you have these long lugs on here. And I believe that the lug to lug is around 40, I remember. It is 50 millimeters, so 49.9 is basically what I've gotten in the past. So it is a long lug span, but you do have these long, sort of angular lugs that do not curve down very, very much, but you can see it's a black DLC coated case. You have vertical brushing on the side. There's brushing on the back of the case back itself with the Zodiac logo, of course, is screwed in, 300 meters of water resistance to helium escape, and of course the crown, both of those screwed in as well. And on the top, you just have a polished bezel. I'll do close-ups of all of that so you can see what I'm talking about, but my favorite part of the design itself is the integration of the strap into the case. Everything lines up perfectly. So the accordion portion of this rubber strap just lines up perfectly with the ends of the lugs, and the lugs are flat on the end, so that edge sort of lines up across. It looks fantastic. I've seen this done before in other Zodiacs, I believe, and this is perfect. They really did a great job with just sort of making it look sort of integrated into the case perfectly. It just works really, really well. You have a really nice buckle on here. You have the Zodiac logo on one of the keepers, and then of course the buckle itself is just a little engraved buckle with that Zodiac logo again. This is a limited edition of 282. I believe it is only available here in the United States in Huckberry or huckberry.com, but there are other places you can get this outside of the United States. However, here in the United States, it is exclusive to Huckberry. So there are some small quirks about the design here that I would like to mention. First, there is a mineral crystal bezel. I believe almost all Zodiac who get a bezel like this, it is usually mineral. So I believe this is mineral as well. Whether or not that bothers you, it doesn't really bother me. Of course, you get a sapphire crystal on this watch with AR coating. You can see it actually works pretty well in my studio lights. The other thing here is the amount of text on the dial. So starting from the top, you have the Zodiac logo, then it says Zodiac, then it says Super Seawolf. That's right above the hand stack. Right below the hand stack, it then says GMT in a script. Then it says divers. Below that, it's 300 meters, and it gives you the depth rating. And then below that, it says chronometer, because this is chronometer certified. And then below that, it says automatic. And that's just above the 6 o'clock index. Right below the 6 o'clock index, it says Swiss made. So there is a lot of text going on this dial. So if you do not like that, you are not going to like this dial. There's a lot going on besides obviously having a 24-hour scale and a loomed bezel, and of course 4 hands. So there is a lot going on the dial. It's a little bit busy. I think it looks great because I really like a tactical looking watch. The black DLC case, that black bezel, the black dial with the black chapter ring and the white indices. It's very, very legible. The hands are a slightly tinted hand, so they are a stainless steel hand that's just slightly tinted. I wouldn't say that they are a bright steel color. They're a little bit darker, which again I really like, and the lume is bright white, so it stands out really well against that black background. Very, very legible watch, and I think very good looking. You have a little bit of an orange accent obviously in that bezel, in the GMT hand, and then the depth rating, which is also in orange. Very quickly, I'm going to throw it on my wrist, and then we will do a quick lume shot and then wrap up the video. Price on this is $2,295. You're getting a lot of watch for that money, and obviously I think it's really good looking as well. It's sort of a tactical watch. It does not wear large because the case is around 40 millimeters. The bezel is obviously bigger at 42 millimeters. This wears really nice, and it's a very comfortable watch. Very quickly, let me show you the watch that I have on my wrist. Then we will do a quick lume shot and wrap up the video. Today, I have an Oris on. This is an Oris Aquis. Again, lent into the channel by Oris. And this is the first time I've actually been able to feature this watch here on my channel. It's a watch that I've talked about many, many times. And this is the Caliber 400, which is a pretty awesome movement. Very good looking movement as well. So I'm excited to show this to you guys. Looks really good on my 7.5 inch wrist. This strap is really comfortable. I believe it's around 20 millimeters, but I will do a measurement and I'll put that information down in the description if anybody is interested in that. And there you go. I have a 7.5 inch wrist. This is a 42 millimeter watch, just about 40 millimeters at the case. I think it wears like a 40 or 41 millimeter watch in my opinion. Anyway, very quickly, a lume shot, and then we will wrap up the video. Lume is excellent on here, really bright on the bezel, on the hands, on the indices. Everything is lumed. The only thing that is not lumed is that GMT hand. I wish they put a little bit of lume on there. Otherwise, you can see the second hand has a lot of lume on there. Immediately when you look at this watch in the dark, you know it's working because there is a lot of lume on that seconds hand, that big tip to that second hand, very, very loomed. So that is excellent. Really functional watch, 300 meters of water resistance. It's an office GMT, which is great. You have a diving bezel, 24-hour scale on the chapter ring, lots of lume, DLC plated. They did a great job with the integration of the bracelet to the case. I think this is a winner. It's a limited edition, so you know that's something to be said. It's going to be hard to get. I think they still have these in stock on Huckberry. Definitely check out the link down in the description if you are interested in this watch. I'll put a link down there so you can check it out. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Watchchris blog, all one word. I have some links in the description. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything, it helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. However, I very much appreciate it. Anyway, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.